morning, guys. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. You guys know that saying, actions speak louder than words, right? Well, when I was disfellowship, right? I mean, most of you guys know my story. I love saying this. But, I'm the only apostate ever, that got reinstated by the elders, just so that they can make a fool of themselves. And once they made it public, once they announced my name on stage, on the platform at the Kingdom Hall, I went out a few weeks later. I went out and said, "Oh, you guys actually reinstated an apostate." I was an apostate the entire time, and I just wanted to show everybody that you men really don't have Holy Spirit. And I did this because it's said that Jehovah's Witnesses, they give so much glory and praise to the elders, because Jehovah's Witnesses really truly believe that elders have God's Holy Spirit, they believe that elders have God's backing when it comes to especially judicial matters, right? Now, when I had my judicial, I realized halfway through the judicial that these elders, they really did not have my best interest at heart. They wasn't loving, they wasn't caring, they wasn't trying to help me get right with Jehovah. I was inactive for quite a while. Of course, I'm gonna live a sinful life, a quote unquote sinful life, sleeping around, experimenting with alcohol and whatnot, right? So I confessed my sins to these elders, and during the judicial, I realized that their intent wasn't to help me get back on the right path, right? You would think that someone who is inactive for quite a while, that the elders would be so happy that I changed my life around, trying to come back to Jehovah, trying to come back to the organization. You think that the elders would be like, okay, let's put him under our wing, let's assist him because he's a lost sheep, and we want to help him get right with Jehovah. They didn't have that mindset. Their mindset was, okay, what did he do? We know he was out there in the world for quite a while. We're gonna see what he's been up to, and we're gonna punish him. That was their mindset, right? So once I realized that, oh shit, these elders are not here to help me; they're here to punish me. They just want to know what I did while I was inactive, so that they can shun me. That was their motive. That was their intent, right? So even though I was repentant, these elders still decided to falsely disfellowship me. Now, there was a 2-week grace period before I got the fellowship, before it was public, before the elders made the announcement on stage. I had 2 weeks to let everybody know that I was about to get deed, the fellowship. So I was running to my family and my JW friends at the time. I said, guys, listen, I know we're supposed to believe that elders really have God's Holy Spirit, that they're making the right decision, but I assure you that these elders, they are abusing their power. I do not deserve this. I don't deserve to be the fellowship. I'm repentant. I was living, I told them I was on the right path for 2 years before I even had the judicial. I changed my life for 2 long years, and you guys know, you guys that have been following me for quite a while, you guys know, I'm always upfront, I'm always real, I'm always blunt, I'm always honest, whether if it's good or bad, right? I'm just me. So with that being said, I love sex. Who if you had sex before, right? Especially if it's good, great sex, you're gonna, of course you want to continue to do it. But for someone that loves sex, I gave that up for 2 years. I even told the elders this. I said, listen, I was out there fornicating, living a sinful life, but I gave that up for 2 years because I wanted to prove to Jehovah that I could do this. I could put him first, right? So if you say that to somebody, if I tell you that I've changed my ways and I'm standing on business by not just talking the talk, but walking the walk, I could also walk the walk. If I tell you I gave up sex for 2 years, that should clearly tell you, that should be a clear indication that I am truly repentant. But the elders did not care about that, right? And that is what made me realize that these men were driven by their own intent. It had nothing to do with God. There's no Holy Spirit involved, right? It was just them wanting to abuse their power. And maybe they were a bit jealous deep down inside. I'm telling them, you know, how many partners I slept with. And, you know, these men are only been with one person. These elders that I've talked to, they're in their 50s and 60s. They've only been with one person for 20, 30 plus years. You know, so maybe they were a bit envious that I was living my life, you know, traveling, meeting people, sleeping around, doing things that they wish they could do deep down inside, you know. But yeah, like I said, I realized that they didn't have they wasn't trying to help me get right with Jehovah. It was, that judicial was all about punishment. And as I mentioned, it was a 2-week grace period. And right before I got the fellowship, I was telling everybody, I said, guys, these elders, they don't have God's Holy Spirit. They're making I'm about to be the fellowship for God knows how long. And I'm repentant. That's the worst part about it. I was truly repentant, right? So people, you know, my witness friends were like, well, they're elders. Leave it in Jehovah's hands. Pray about it. If they made a mistake, Jehovah, he will correct it. They were making all these excuses for these elders. I was like, wow, I cannot believe this. I can't believe that just because they have the title of being an elder, that their word is more superior over mine, over my word. That's crazy. So, of course, you know, once it was official, once it was all said and done, I was the fellowship. They made an announcement. You know, about a month later, I started to do some research because things did not sit right. Things did not sit right with me. So I started to do my research, and eventually, thank God, I woke up from this religion. I realized that this is a man-made organization. I was born and raised on a cult. My life changed drastically, right? So 2 years passed, I finally get reinstated. And I'm a full-blown apostate at this time, right? But I said, I'm going to get reinstated, and I'm going to prove. I'm going to prove to everybody. I'm not going to just, because before I got the fellowship, I was saying, hey, elders don't have Holy Spirit. No one believed me. No one listened to me. But if you allow 6 elders in 2 different congregations to pray about the matter, and they came to conclusion that Jehovah's Holy Spirit was pouring over them, and that spirit compelled them to reinstate me after 2 long years of being the fellowship, just for me to say, guys, gotcha, bitch. I got you. You said you have God's Holy Spirit. Now I'm a full-blown apostate 2 years after me being the fellowship, a full-blown apostate. You guys have reinstated an apostate. Now I can show everybody, because no one believed me before. Now I can show everybody. Now I can show everybody that you men don't have Holy Spirit, because I am no longer a believer, but yet you guys supposedly prayed and said I'm ready to come back when I wasn't ready to come back. I wasn't coming back. I was not coming back to the organization. But now I can prove that you men don't have Holy Spirit. So when I went out publicly on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, I went out publicly and told everybody, hey, I just got reinstated, but I was an apostate, just pretending so that I can show the Jehovah's Witness community just how fake this organization is. Just how fake it is, right? And sometimes to make a point, to make a statement, sometimes you got to do things a bit extreme, you know? You got to do something a bit radical. You got to do something that someone else has never done before. And that's what I did. And it's sad that my Jehovah's Witness family and friends, everybody was blocking me, unfriending me, left to right on Facebook, Instagram. I was losing friends like that, right? My family members, my mom, you know, told me don't talk to her anymore. But here's the worst part of everything, of all of this. This is the worst part. Not one person said to themselves, hold a minute, wait a minute. I thought elders had Holy Spirit. How did this apostate get reinstated if the elders prayed about the matter? If his name was publicly announced in 2 different congregations, in the Brad Hurst congregation in New York City and the Waikiki congregation in Hawaii, and my name was publicly announced, that means that the elders had to sit. They all had to sit among each other. Well, in 2 different congregations, they had to pray about the matter. They said that they was ready. They said that I was ready to come back. How did he come back if he was pretending? I thought elders had Holy Spirit. That's the question that everybody should have been asking themselves, is how did the elders make that mistake? And it's sad that witnesses, they look the other way. Sorry guys, it's a little windy. But it's sad that witnesses, they look the other way, and they just looked at the fact that, oh, he was an apostate, just testing out the so-called Holy Spirit. Yes, I was testing it out. I was testing it out. But how did my apostate ass get reinstated? That is the $1 million question. I had to do that. I had to do that. Because now, when I tell you that this religion is fake, now I got actions that can back up my words. I should have never been reinstated. I should have never been reinstated. But 6 elders in 2 different congregations, they all prayed and said, you're ready. No, I wasn't ready. I was ready. Sorry, I was ready. I was ready to show the witnesses just how fake and phony this organization. This is nothing more but a man-made organization with men pretending one way or another, from the elders, the CEOs to the governing body leaders, one way or another, people are pretending to have God's Holy Spirit. But sometimes you got to do something a little extreme. Sometimes you got to do something a little radical just to make a point. Just to make a point. I'm all about planting seeds, one way or another. One way or another, I'm planting seeds. Anywho, guys, I hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.